like I said, we need to get a bit of a walkway. I do feel like going for sort of the good old metal right here. Maybe have some sort of marble tile outline. Do we want the rest of it to just be ceramic floor? If we do, then we might just want to go for the concrete tiles. Just curious to see how that will look. Mostly just because the concrete tiles seem to be a good divider block. Not a lot of different floor tiles really work well together. We saw this before. Wow, this is disgusting. This is awful. Warden, what's wrong with you? Where's the cleaners? Oh, we can't. Because we can't get maintenance staff. This is our fault, really. I don't think it's a big problem. Unless, of course, this game has health and safety laws. Remember, we have to make them barefooted as well. So you have to sort of walk on these really cold steel grates. It's a pretty good walkway, I would say. I like it. It's significant. So what we should do, we're sort of running a little bit over time right here. We move across. On the middle. There we are. Go all the way down. And then in the middle, we can use the concrete tiles. There we go. Like this. Like this. And I feel like that's a pretty good walkway. Let's go back to objects. Let's just see. I feel like we can fit 2 more of them. Oh, that is absolutely perfect. All part of the plan, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that's less perfect. Not part of the plan. I guessed everything. Now it's just sort of how it connects up on this end right here. Because, of course, in the future, I feel like we're going to have a doorway over on this side. So, really, we should just space it out by 1 more. This is all in planning. I feel like just sort of getting this all in. Having all the planning for the objects being the benches and the stools selected. No, benches and the tables. Well, benches and stools. Oh, we could just give them like a bunch of stools. No, because they'll use them to kill each other. Yeah. So this is why I'm a warden, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they picked me for the job. Because I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking outside the box. Give them stools? No, because they kill themselves. Bolt the stools to the floor? Now that's a good idea. But that's expensive, so we're just going to use benches and bolt them to the floor. Because we can use less nails that way. Because nails are expensive. Wow, that is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. So we could just demolish these at some point. If we really feel like using up that line to eventually be another way to access the canteen. In fact, my main issue with the canteen is that the walkways to get into it are quite narrow. So there may be a little bit of congestion. But I've played enough City Skylines, and I feel like I know how to deal with congestion. Which means we need a roundabout. So if we get a roundabout right in, of course, then we have to hope that they just keep single file and actually use the roundabouts for its intended purpose. Which, as we know, will not happen. But anyway. So the rest of this will most probably be ceramic floor. In fact, it most definitely will be ceramic floor. Although underneath it, I think we might go for something a bit different. But for now, just going to set that all as ceramic. Because I like the look of ceramic. And apparently, it likes the look of me as well. Because that's 52 grand. Pennies. Absolute pennies. Do I want to have these ones removed just so I can help separate it? I think so, yeah. I want to remove these 2. And instead have the floor placed down as the concrete tiles. We could put some other tables there if we really feel like we can't keep up in the future, but I can't imagine we can. But I just like the idea of the feeding troughs just being placed sort of separately to the actual prison. Or to the actual canteen. I feel like it's a good look. Can we get the planning thing to not appear? Okay, we can't. I've got a good feeling, though, about our canteen area. I think the main problem I have with my prison is that I'm sort of just going for squares and boxes. But I just want to make it efficient. That's the thing. The Megamax isn't really too much about representation. This is the odd series I have where it's not necessarily all about representation and actually about its ability to perform. And if I try to make it look aesthetically pleasing, then its ability to perform is just going to plummet, really. So there we go. So it's an efficient use of space right here. And it should be 4 blocks in, and that's perfectly spaced. Because you've got the 2 benches and the table. And a bunch of serving tables, and I feel pretty good about this. This is nice. Now it's just getting everything connected up for our kitchen. Now this is going to need a lot of power. In fact, an obscene amount. Especially with water connections as well, so we have to make sure that's all connected. Got our objects right here. Let's place this room down. Yeah, that's a good point. We should get the canteen selected first. So this is the canteen, so this big old blob right here. I thought it said Canada there. Welcome to Canada as soon as you enter. That'd be funny. Right, and now kitchen. Kitchen. We need one of those. There we are. Lovely kitchen. Don't want to put it in here, though, because that shouldn't really count as a kitchen. And then this should be the big security room, although we can't access that just yet. So for now, we're going to keep it there. We want storage as well. That's a good point. I forgot about that. I didn't necessarily forget. It's just the way the storage is going to connect up to the kitchen. It looks like for now, the security room is going to have a few chefs walking through. Which is a bit of a hazard, really. But then again, we can just think of it as the food being checked by security before it goes into the kitchen. You know, contraband and all that. That's a good point. That makes logical sense, ladies and gentlemen. If we go to planning and get sort of 14... Excuse me. 14... 14 a good number? I have a lot of sort of double doors. I mean, it's just... It is meant to be sort of a big area. If we look at rooms, is there anything else that we're going to need within this particular zone? Staff room? Yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to need a staff room. I could make just a particular corner of it a staff room, couldn't I? Or I could just actually make a staff room somewhere. I could be a good boss, which, a bit of a stretch, really. I'm not just sure if I'm capable of doing such a thing. I want to see what that looks like when it glows. It's not glowing. Game, why do you not glow? It's glowing. Right. I have to really... It's quite the trek from deliveries over to the kitchen, isn't it? We need to have some sort of rail cart system. If only we could. Yeah, security, kennels and armory. Would that also go into the security room? Well, yeah, I think it will. It will just also be sort of separate, or separated. Yeah, we need to have separate rooms, don't we? We need one for the armory, which I wanted to put in here anyway, because it's meant to be the big area. But I wanted to make sure it's locked up tight. Very tight. So it's very difficult to get into the armory. To get into the armory, you have to get into the security room, which is also blocked off by a kitchen with 4 gates. And then another room here with storage, which will be another 4 gates. And probably another very important room that may be the shop. A classroom. Not classroom, it won't be a classroom. The infirmary. Yeah, we can have the infirmary in here. The only problem I have with it putting in here is that, you know, do we send them through these 2 rooms? Which means the way to get in here will be to get yourself injured in the canteen, some sort of fight, and then you'll be taken through the infirmary, and then maybe when you're being transitioned over, you might be able to grab something, although very unlikely that you'll be able to do that. But even getting your eyes in there so you know the layout could definitely help yourself, well, definitely help you for when you want to escape. I don't know. I don't think the escape mode... Remember, you got to think about this when from the perspective of a player trying to get out. It seems like the best way for them to get out right now is just digging your way out. But like I said, I want to make sure there's a decent gap so that snipers can shoot them from towers that I'm going to make on all the corners, and probably one right here. I don't know the range of snipers, so we might end up making quite a few towers. I'd rather not have to kill someone for escaping. Like, maybe it's just a dart gun, or maybe I just shoot them in the knee, and that's as far as it goes. But anyway, yeah, the infirmary is definitely what I want to have on this side. So if we go over to planning again, and then just double check how big this is. So 14, it's 15 over here, but that's fine. So we'll say 15 if we count this corner. There we go. Get that bit across here. Also, I mean, my main issue is always just, you know, I could just do this and have 2 doors, but it just doesn't look as nice. It really doesn't. I like these. They're like claws. You have to watch out. Be careful for the claw. Right, let's go to foundation and get these rooms constructed. And I do want to make sure I use up every single little piece of land, other than, of course, yards. Just to make it look that little bit more monstrous. Because, of course, we're designing this prison so that all hope and joy in the world will just be immediately removed from their inner self. There is no hope, is what I'm trying to say. Not in this prison. Absolutely no hope. Your dreams are no longer valid. Get out. Now storage. Up here? Or down here? Well, I do like how the infirmary is close by to the canteen, since I feel like we're going to have a little bit of fighting going on in there until we can eventually set ourselves some sort of system. I mean, I'm not too sure how we're going to deal with legendary criminals, but I think I'll do what I did last time, which is just have a particular section sort of dedicated to those kinds of criminals, since they do just spawn on you. And we are playing on a high difficulty, or some sort of difficulty anyway. So let's get storage set up. I don't think you need anything in storage. You might, though. You might need a checking desk, which would be kind of neat. Go to objects. No, I do like the idea of getting a checking desk, to be honest. If we get a sort of a chair. Where should we put it? Feel like people would be coming mostly from this end. But like I said, this is the security room. This is another good reason why a security room is attached to storage. So everything can be checked before it goes in here. Same with the kitchen. Same for all the medical supplies as well. We can't get this selected yet, but I will get the flooring set up, ready and waiting for when it does end up being used appropriately. These corners should really be metal. Oh yeah, these transitionary points should just be metal. Metal as fuck. There we go. I think that would be really cool. And then metal here. Maybe metal along there as well. Well, they are meant to be the walkways, aren't they? It's just having more walkways and more of a visualization of just where everything is. So from here as well, we should just have a metal walkway. What should it be like in here? Gravel? No, should be gravel, but maybe the ceramic tiles, or maybe just the concrete. All hope is lost. Seems to be my go-to at the moment. I can still do a road that's 4 across, or a walkway that's 4 across, as long as I use the concrete tiles as a divider block. Speed the game up. We'll see how that works out, though. We got this middle piece done, which means we're going to have to somehow sort of separate these areas. I don't really know what I'm going to do to separate them. Like I said, I want it to be an area where they're never going to see again. Because, you know, no one ever leaves the Megamax. And by that, I mean we probably are going to have a decent sort of a system set up. Recuperation? No, not recuperation. What's it called? You know. We're going to make a system so that people can continue to be valid citizens after, you know, lobotomization. What? No. Who said that? No one said that at all. It will end up being a lobotomization, though. Storage is good. Kitchen. We can get the... I don't really want to get the kitchen set up just now. Do we want to have one side fridge? 1, 2... Oh, I'm so glad that fits. Innkeeper, you don't make it easy for yourself, do you? Right. We could set it up so that they go along like... No, we can't. We're spending so much on a fridge. I can have them along here, can't I? They can walk over several other fridges, can't they? I'm assuming they can. As for cookers, we'll get them in a second. We need some sinks here. The sinks should really be close to the entrance. So that, you know, dishes coming in and out can easily be cleaned up. Unfortunately, it doesn't properly connect. Which hurts my dreams. We can increase the length by 1, but then the fridges would be a bit awkward. Oh, why? What can we put in this corner? A cooker? Yeah, I suppose we can put a cooker on there, can't we? Let's get ourselves another sink. Let's do it so it's on the inside, yes. This is just sort of the walkway where you can do all the cleaning and that lot. And then maybe one more here. Yeah, there we go. That makes sense. I like that. And then all the cookers in the middle. Of course, we are going to need more food storage. I'm sort of curious how to get the storage... Oh, how to get the food storage done. Would be nice if I could make bigger fridges. They are storing them close, though, aren't they? I feel like this makes sense. It may be a mistake. But something's just telling me that they should be able to access the fridges in the back because they can walk over so much stuff. Of course, it needs to be all connected first. We'll get that done later on. We're not going to be able to power all of this. I mean, how are we looking right now? Okay, looking pretty good when it comes to the power. We could dismantle this one. I think we're going to do so because I'm just curious to see what it looks like. We hover over it. Someone... Okay. Just want to see if the corner ones do work. Yeah, they do. Okay, just curious. Finding out if I'm wasting money or not. Buying capacitors that are just pointless. And that is thankfully not the case. I'll get a cooker in so we know what we're doing. In fact, I don't need to get a cooker in. Just put the objects in here. So, let's see. You can get a cooker there, and a cooker here. Yep, I feel pretty good about that. Then one here, one here, one here, one here. No. We could just sort of have them angled off like this. And then do the same on the other side. They're all spaced out. There we go, so 12 on each side. It's pretty good, I would say, cookers-wise, but we could definitely get more in there if we wanted to. We do have quite a few gaps. Do we really need that many gaps? If we get rid of all of those, we're going to have... Yeah, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to have 5 along here. Yeah, I suppose that helps. So along here, we can have 5 instead. Just a load of cookers. Of course, the problem comes where we might need more freezer space, but that's why I don't really want to put anything against this wall, or shouldn't really put anything against this wall, because I can expand later on, and I probably will end up doing so. So using up these extra spaces right here, just to fill up or increase the size of our kitchen, may end up doing that. But I just don't know if we're going to be needing that many cookers. I need to look up the ratio, because there is a little chart that you can find somewhere that says how many prisoners can you feed with 1 cooker, 1 sink, and 1 fridge, and then it obviously scales around that, and how many benches can it fill up, and all that fun stuff. I need to look around for that again, although I imagine it's changed a little bit, so there might be a updated variant lying around somewhere. This has been an hour and 5-minute recording, so this will be free episodes, but I feel like we've had a substantial amount done. Canteen, the kitchen, security area, storage, infirmary, eventually. The walkway design, which is pretty cool. I'm going to get something done with the corners right here. And, of course, the lit-up warden's office with a full administration, which isn't done yet. Of course, we need to get cleaning done. Our daily amount of money is exceeded all of a sudden. What the hell happened? Quickly, get an accountant. Where's our office? There we go. I bet the accountant is very happy. We'll make your office a little bit more interesting. So there we are. So next episode, land expansion. That's really good. So we can just expand where we want. Make our power station, which is something I'm definitely looking forward to doing since it's going to be very expensive. And at the same time, I can get myself a foreman, I think. Yeah, foreman. Because cleaning up's going to be a big one. Or maybe a chief. Just quit. I would like to have people that will help me to push up remote access. Unlock high-tech equipment for remote control and automation of doors. Oh, right, of course. So we could do that. Armory, which is a big one, so we can go for guard towers early. So unlocks guard towers and snipers. Allows you to have a highly trained marksman keeping an eye on the outdoor areas of your prison. Snipers will need to visit an armory to collect a rifle, otherwise they will be unarmed. And an unarmed guard tower is a terrible one. And then, of course, we need to eventually get the offshore tax haven, which will save us a little bit more money. It's going to take a long time to get that one done. But yeah, getting the... If we buy that as well. Getting a foreman unlocked would be the next big step, I feel, because having groundskeeping is just very important. There we are. So these two spaces here, can we use them? Yeah, the chief and the lawyer. Feels unfair for the other person that gets one of the rubbish desks. But that's just how it is. That's the world that we live in, I'm afraid. You know, we can't be all the warden right here, Captain Moneybags right here, just sort of spending his day business. Business. Look at this, business. Look at this board. There's business on this board. It's a lovely board of business, full of business, bad money business. He's got a little bit of a fold under there, if anyone noticed that. Wow, the game is really paying attention to that. Wow, those butt physics. Butt physics, great. Good. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with that note. Thank you all very much for watching me, the Innkeeper, play Prison Architect Megamax. Oh, yes. It's alive. And soon we will throw them all into the grinder so that we can make bacon. Delicious bacon. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe with that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter for updates on my channel and Twitch for live streams. Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.